When I seen Hideki Kamiya at the Game Awards tonight, I genuinely wondered what was going on. They were making it an effort to actually show him on camera, and I was like, are they actually like alluding to something here? Obviously, we found out they are planning to do an Okami sequel after 18 years. I know there was one on the DS. I never actually played it because I'm not really a handheld gamer, but honestly, it's been 18 years since the PS2 original Okami by Capcom and Hideki Kamiya. 18 years seems to be a bit of a magic number tonight because nobody's won more at the Game Awards than me today. Obviously, it's been 18 years since the first Onimusha game, and we're finally getting a sequel to that as well, another Capcom IP, but also Okami. I cannot believe my luck as an OG like Capcom fan from back in the day. The PS2 was one of my favourite eras. Every single Onimusha game came out on the PS2, and Okami was definitely one of the best PS2 games that I'd ever played. I remember the reason I actually gave it a shot back in the day was because I was more into the art style of video games at that point. I found myself appreciating the art direction of games a lot more at that period of time, thanks to classics like Shadow of the Colossus, which is also one of my favourite games back then. Now, there was actually like whispers and rumblings about like the possibility of Okami making a return. Over the past few years, like I found a couple of interviews from Hideki Kamiya talking about Okami possibly returning, but I think everybody put it to the back of their mind and just thought like, oh yeah, maybe if like something ever happens one day, Hideki Kamiya might be able to do like an Okami game, but I never thought like there would be a possibility of him like going back and working at Capcom, which is essentially like what's going on here. Him and Capcom must have some sort of partnership to allow this Okami sequel to happen, and I for one could not be more happier that they are letting like the original guy who created Okami back in the driver's seat to direct a sequel. It kind of means you have like entire faith in the project from the get-go, knowing that he's the one that done the original game and he's going to be putting together a team of people at Capcom to make the sequel again, and I honestly cannot wait for this game. I don't know what I'm more excited for when it comes to like Onimusha and Okami. The possibility of both these like IPs returning was crazy a few hours ago, but after the Game Awards, I cannot believe it's actually happened. I would love to know what people are thinking right now with the return of Okami actually happening. There was no release date or anything given for this Okami sequel, so I don't know how far off this game is. It doesn't actually have a full-fledged working title, it just said it was an Okami sequel. But when it comes to like the art style of the game and the art direction, I hope they keep it like the original game, because I still think that Okami is one of the most beautifully aged games I have ever played. And it was made in the PS2 generation, man. Like, if you actually pick up the HD version, which came out, like, honestly, a long time ago, the HD version was originally made for the PS3, but it has been given up-to-date ports on the likes of Steam and that, and if you could pick that up in the sales, I genuinely recommend you try it out, because Okami is still a great game. It's actually a really long game though, so you kind of have to be like strapped in for the ride, but I genuinely think it's worth it for a lot of people. A lot of people compared it to like Zelda games back in the day a little bit in terms of like the dungeon roaming that you done in the game. If none of you guys have tried the original Okami, there's honestly not a better time than now to maybe pick it up in a sale down the line, because we're maybe a couple of years off from this Okami sequel, so you got plenty of time to try the original out and actually play it in all of its greatness, because it's one of the best games ever made for a reason, and I would love more people to discover this game and enjoy it. Beautiful game, just like roaming the world is genuinely enjoyable. The combat's fun as well, the story is genuinely interesting, and it's really long, but not long in a bad way, but just like long that you were like, oh man, this game could have ended like 10 hours ago and there's like a whole nother bunch of stuff to do. It's got so much going on in it, I think people would be genuinely surprised if you have never played it before. Now's the perfect time to play it. It would be great to hear what people think about this Okami sequel. Obviously there's a lot of people like myself that have played Okami 18 years ago and a few times over the years. Like, you never really thought there was an Okami sequel coming. Now it's actually happened, it's crazy to believe, and it's actually Hideki Kamiya doing it. What do you guys want from this sequel? Like, do you want them to keep what made the original great? Is there anything you guys want added to a sequel to make it better? Like, I'm sure they'll make the combat even more fluid than the original, absolutely. There's plenty of things to build on. And when it comes to like new people, there's going to be so many people that have never even played an Okami game. So like, what do you guys think about the possibility of jumping into a brand new Okami game when you haven't even played the original? I recommend you do play the original, especially because it's always on sale in this day and age and there's no real excuse no to just give it a bash. Playing as a dog is always awesome as well. There's plenty of games that have came over the years, like Stray where you played as a cat. A lot of people like playing as animals, and trust me when I say Okami is one of the best games that ever done it. Guys, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.